Hey everyone, this is a follow on from the last video where we had a look at the demo for AutoGPT. Today we're going to have a go at it ourselves. I'll show you how to install it and I'll show you some of my attempts at getting it to perform tasks. If that sounds like something you're interested in, let's get into it. Okay, we're going to start off by going to the GitHub page of Torrentulino AutoGPT, and we're going to download the code here by hitting the green button, go download zip. And then we're going to save that to our hard drive, and we'll see the requirements here. We need to have Python installed, an Open API key, and a Pinecone API key. Pinecone's used to save information for its long-term memory, but apparently you can actually use your local hard drive to do that. So we're going to see if we can get away with not using Pinecone, and we're going to go ahead and install. So here's the installation instructions, basically download, which we've already done. And then it says we need to change to that directory and run pip install. Okay, so first thing we've got to do is we've got to install the requirements. So we've put in pip install our requirements. I've just copied and pasted that straight from the GitHub page. I actually ran this before and I got an error because when I installed Python, I didn't tick the box that said install environment variable. So it didn't know where to find pip in the path. So let's see if it works this time. This is the first hurdle I faced, was getting pip to work. So basically I installed Python, but I hadn't ticked for it to add the path variable, so it knew where to find pip, where it was installed on my hard drive. And then I'd done that and I tried to run it again, but I still ran into problems, and I figured out it was because I had to close Visual Studio Code and reopen it so that it looked at the path again. So if you have that problem, that's what you got to do. Okay, so it says to rename our env template, so let's do that to env. Let's get rid of that. Hit enter, and I'm just going to open it up here, and I'm going to put my Open API key in here. I'm going to delete that, and I'll put that in, and then I'll save. Okay, so for the Pinecone API key setup, I went ahead and copied the API key and I saved it in that file here next to Pinecone API key. If we go back to our instructions here, we want to run it with GPT-3 only. So we're going to give it a go here. Copy, let's throw that in the terminal. See what happens. All right. Looks like it is working. So GPT 3.5 only mode enabled. Would you like me to return to being an entrepreneur GPT? Continue with the last settings. Name entrepreneur GPT. Role. Goals. Yeah. No, I want to create a new one. Let's say no. All right. Welcome to AutoGPT. Enter the name of your AI and its role below. Entering nothing will load defaults. Awesome. What are we going to call him? Let's call him Researcher GPT-GPT. Researcher GPT here, I'm at your service. So you can see here we're putting the goals in, and the first one was to search for videos where people have shared their earnings with titles like how much YouTube paid me. Then I wanted to get to search the transcript of the video and basically pull out the earnings and the niche that they were in, and then save that in a table with the headings of niche, CPM, RPM, date of the video, video URL, and channel name, and then end the task. So it goes ahead, it understands it really well and makes a plan, basically rephrases what I want it to do. And then it says it's going to browse the website YouTube, which is a bit of a mistake because it doesn't find what it's looking for. It just finds the about page of YouTube, which doesn't really work. And it tries that a couple of times. So I try to figure out what's going on by actually doing the search on YouTube myself. And I can see that I've got the right title for the type of videos that I want. And I'm trying to tell it, no, I want you to actually search the videos on YouTube, not just go to the YouTube page. And it tries again, but it just kind of gets caught in a loop here. And then you can see here I make another attempt. This time it is actually searching the YouTube page itself. It does go through, it finds the, basically scrapes the results, finds the YouTube videos, attempts to write it to a CSV file. That's the plan that it makes. And then it starts running into some errors. And I think this is because it's using GPT 3.5 and not GPT-4. So a recurring theme here is that it tries to create an agent to go off and do the work, and then it gets GPT-4 to try and evaluate the results, and it just seems to get caught in a loop and goes around in circles. So I abandon that attempt and decide to see if I can get it to do some programming for me. So you'll see here it asks for a name, and I give it like GPT programmer, and the task I set for it is to make a small program, and the goals are create a list of motivational quotes, create a Python program that then displays the quotes from a list every 5 seconds, and save the working Python program to the hard drive. And it got pretty far with this. You'll see here it's thinking about it now. It's going to save it to the local cache. It understands what I want to do. It goes out and it searches Google for a list of quotes. It gets those quotes. You can see here it scraped them, and then its next plan is to install some libraries and to use a for loop to display each quote. And it creates an agent. You can see here display quotes programmer, and it asks for confirmation for that, and I say yep, no problem, go ahead. And it asks it to write the Python program, and you can see here it's going ahead to try and do that. And then it tries to write the quotes file to the hard drive, which it does manage to do. That file appears, the quotes.txt file. It says it's successful there, so you can see that. And then the next thing it wants to do is actually get extra input it wants to append some more quotes to the end of that file. And this is where it starts to run into some problems. So it asks GPT-4 to evaluate the code, and it does not do a good job of that because I don't have a GPT-4 API key. It does generate an image. You can see up the top there, it generates a blackboard in order to put the quotes on, but it doesn't manage to successfully loop through and put each of the quotes on because it keeps running into that GPT-4 error, which is a real shame because it looks like it's about to work, and it just struggles. And again, it kind of loses the plot, goes into a bit of a loop, and keeps trying to create the image and keeps asking GPT-4 for help. So I think it's just a bug in this early version of the program. You can see there it's saying GPT-4 doesn't exist, and it keeps trying to install these libraries. So that's strike 3. Hasn't been able to do that one either. So then I thought, let's try something completely different. So for this one, I decided I'd try and get AutoGPT to write a children's book, and named the new AI Enid after Enid Blyton. And basically her role was an AI that was designed to write engaging children's books complete with illustrations. And then I gave it the goals to research the most popular children's books and what makes them popular, and then use that information to choose a character and story for the book. Thirdly, write an outline for the book, and also take into account the length of the most popular books. And then actually get it to write the story based on that outline, and save that formatted as an HTML document on the hard drive. And then finally create the accompanying images for the book, for each page of the book. And so again, it understands really well what I'm after. It finds the searches and finds the most popular books, and then it goes ahead and it chooses a character. Now this is where it throws me a bit of a curveball in that I didn't put a unique character, so it chose Winnie the Pooh as the character for the book, and then proceeded to create all the other characters in the book exactly the same as in the Winnie the Pooh books. So there was a little bit of a mess up on my part there. You can see there it's chosen Winnie the Pooh, and then here you can see it actually does write the story, and then once it's done that, it wants to create another GPT agent to create the images for the book. And this is where it starts running into errors because I think it's wanting to use GPT-4 again, and it starts to lose the plot. You can see here it kind of goes into a loop and goes back and tries to rewrite the whole story again, write the plot, so on and so forth. So it never actually gets to write the story to a file, and it doesn't manage to create the images. It goes around in loops until it starts returning bad JSON, so it doesn't actually understand its own queries. So that's pretty much where we ended up. So I did go ahead and I tried another instance where I tried to get it to create side hustles for under $500, and again it eventually failed and wasn't able to write them down. So I think the moral to the story is this definitely has promise, and it does work if you have a GPT-4 API key. But if you're trying to run it with GPT 3.5, it's just not smart enough to be able to do it. And there's still a lot of bugs in the system where it's got permission issues. When using GPT 3.5, it keeps wanting to go back and create a GPT-4 agent to either evaluate code or do a lot of the heavy lifting for it. I have seen some other videos where they've managed to get it to work with GPT-4. I know All About AI's got a really good video, and Matt VidPro, he's also been able to get it to work. So you just need a GPT-4 key. There is some other exciting things happening. There's a script called GPT for All where you can basically run GPT on your local drive, and they're looking to try and integrate that, so then you won't have to pay or need the API key for GPT-4. There's also another interesting one which we might look at called Baby AGI, and again that still uses GPT-4, so there's a decent cost involved there. Anyway, so we had to go, we struck out. Let me know if you're able to get it to work. I'd be really interested to see what you're able to get it to do, especially if you've got one of those GPT-4 keys. That's all for now. See you in the next one.